Hey, welcome back to the ready state, or as we like to say in our friend's empty gym, not quite ready to open state. What I want to talk about today is some of the aspects of your shoulder and elbow rotation that get lost in the mix. Now, typically, most of us start paying attention to our elbows when what? Elbows start hurting for some reason. Muscle ups, pull ups, gripping, grabbing my baby. The milk is so heavy. Why is it so heavy? But one of the things we fail to appreciate, of course, is that the elbow is a pretty remarkable and robust system. Triceps rarely bark at us. Forearms rarely are the problem until they become the problem. So one of the things that it's easy to do when the volume is high and you're super strong is that you can miss ranges and miss whole sections of function by accident. Now, part of the magic of doing assistance work, part of the magic of doing bodybuilding work or accessory work is to actually hit some of these positions that you didn't hit in your main course. So one of the ways that we can improve the function of some of our tissues or just exposure is just through some of the assistance work. So it's one of the reasons we're such fans of bodybuilding or assistance work, or just you have to program it in during your warm-up. So today I'm going to talk about the fact that when we all see beginners start pull-ups, they start here, and it's miraculous. I'm doing a pull-up, but they never ever have full rotation at the end, right? And the reason they love this is that they're mechanically blocked. You don't have to do any stabilization, and then all you have to do is just use your big muscles to yank up. But what we see is that as soon as an athlete has some strength, they like to be much more active in creating rotation in the bar. Now, we're not the first sets of coaches and athletes to talk about this, right? This pull-up should equal this pull-up. But what we see is that people aren't exposing those ranges. Can you even hang all the way down with your palm facing you? Well, one of the ways that we can get that work built in is in a sort of more balanced or at least exposure to some other positions. One of our favorite ways of working and restoring this rotation to the elbow, which is vital in maintaining the health of the elbow, is through a rope climb. So if I jump up on the rope and let myself down, in order to be stable, I've got to be in this very much blocked position, this constrained position. And what that does is it forces me into this full mechanical external rotation where I then have to eccentrically load and work on this eccentric loading through this full rotation of the elbow. So as I jump up here, right, and then lower myself down into these positions, being able to maintain that grip as I lower is a big deal. So it's not just the climbing up, it's the climbing down. But I know what you're saying to yourself, I don't have a rope at home, but you may have a pull-up bar at home. And one of the reasons we love towel pull-ups as an exposure is that that grip forces us to begin to expose the rotation at the ends of this position, which again is about maintaining elbow health. Another hack, another trick that we put in regularly, if you've ever been to my gym, I call it elbow health. It's not even curls, but it's not an accident. Dan John used to put in power curls to his athletes. And one of the things that I suspect he got out of doing curls from a power clean position was that he was able to expose a lot of rotation under not so heavy loads into the elbow. So even Pavel talks about taking the hands out all the way out to the rings and doing curls here, because as I carry down and lower that down, appreciate that my elbow doesn't go straight, it actually kicks out. This is the carrying angle of the elbow, so you don't walk and bang your hands. It makes it easier to feed yourself, etc. It's also why your clean grip or your pressed grip is outside your shoulder, because you have this little bend in your elbow. Your elbow is off axis, it's not straight down. So when I do a negative with the barbell as part of my elbow health system, I'm taking it, getting out of that pronation into full supination in this locked position and basically forcing that rotation to happen through that full range. Does it lengthen the biceps tendon differently than this? Yes, it does. That radius is on the other side of the arm, and suddenly I'm exposing all of this fascia and connective tissue with this range. So even if you didn't have a pull-up rig to do towel pull-ups or a rope hanging in your house because you're in a friend's gym, grab your barbell, slide your hands out, to the rings. Appreciate that what we're trying to do is mechanically lengthen those tissues. Eccentric loading is part of the game. It's one of the reasons the Nordic curl works and the Nordic ham works, and why kettlebell swings are so important. Why if you just do concentric work, you're missing a big piece of the pie around dealing with stiffness and around tissue restoration and position. So, in shorthand, you have to be able to rotate, and you should be able to put those rotations buried into your program so at the end it's not one more thing you need to work on. Why? Because your programming is working on it in the first place. See you tomorrow.